There are places that exist to be remembered, and then there are places that seem to remember everyone who has ever visited them. High above the clouds, where the wind carries stories instead of dust, and when the stars feel just a little closer, there is a market unlike any other, not built for wealth, not built for power, but built for something far more valuable: connection. Long before the first traveller arrives, the market is already awake. The lanterns glow softly beneath the rooftops. Flowers climb weathered beams. Colourful banners dance gently in the morning breeze. The scent of fresh bread, sweet berries, and woodland herbs drift throughout the air. Everything feels calm. Everything feels welcoming. There are no towering walls, no grand gates separating those outside from those within. Only winding bridges stretching between floating islands, inviting everyone to cross, no matter where they may have come from, no matter how long their journey may have been. There is always room for one more visitor. As you step onto the wooden pathways, the village reveals itself. The market stalls line every corner. Some are filled with glowing crystals that shimmer like captured starlight. Others display handcrafted lanterns, woven baskets, painted pottery, or books whose pages seem to whisper all of the forgotten tales. Every item has a story. Every stall carries a little piece of its creator. Nothing here feels rushed. No one hurries past without noticing the beauty around them. The fairies greet one another with warm smiles. Neighbours stop to talk. Children chase glowing lights through flower-filled gardens. Musicians play quiet melodies that drift across the floating bridges. The market isn't loud, it's alive. As you wander further, you begin to realise something. This place isn't special because of what it sells. It's special because of what it creates. Conversations, friendships, moments that become memories. Each traveller arrives carrying something different. Some bring handmade treasures, others bring seeds collected from distant forests. Some carry maps of lands beyond the clouds. Others simply bring stories, stories of adventures, of challenges overcome, of places still waiting to be explored. And somehow, every story finds someone willing to listen. Perhaps that is the greatest treasure of all. To be heard, to know that your experiences matter, to feel that your voice has a place among so many others in our own lives. It's easy to become caught in the rush of everyday schedules, responsibilities, deadlines. Sometimes we forget how meaningful it can be to simply slow down and truly listen, not to reply, not to solve, just to understand. The fairy market seems to know this instinctively. No conversation feels hurried, no question feels too small, no visitor feels invisible. Everyone belongs somewhere here. And as the afternoon sunlight begins to filter through the trees, golden light dances across the pathways. The market grows busier, yet somehow it never loses its sense of peace. Laughter echoes between the bridges, fresh flowers decorating every doorway. Tiny lanterns wait patiently for evening to arrive. Everything moves together, like a gentle rhythm. There is something comforting about places like this, places where kindness is ordinary, where helping someone doesn't require a reason, where generosity isn't measured by what is given, but by the care behind it. Imagine if more places felt like this, places where strangers became neighbours, where differences sparked curiosity instead of distance, where everyone was welcomed before they were judged. Perhaps the world would feel a little lighter. And as the sun slowly begins to sink, the market changes once again. Lantern after lantern flicker into life. Soft, golden lights reflecting from polished wood. The bridges glow against the evening sky. The clouds below become painted with colours of amber, violet, and deep blue. For a moment, the entire market feels suspended between day and night, between reality and a dream. You finally found a quiet place, a place where you can pause, watching travellers come and go, some arriving with excitement, others leaving with peaceful smiles. You begin to understand that the greatest thing that anyone can take from this place cannot be carried in a bag. It's the feeling that they leave with: hope, belonging, kindness, the reminder that even brief moments of connection can stay with us for years. There are days when life feels lonely, days when it seems like no one could possibly understand what you're carrying. If today happens to be one of those days, remember this: Every person you meet is carrying a story of their own. Some chapters are joyful, others are difficult, most remain unseen, which is why kindness matters so much. You never truly know what someone else may need. Sometimes a smile, a conversation, or simply just asking, "How are you?" can make more of a difference than you will ever realize. Perhaps that's the true purpose of this floating market, not to exchange goods, but to exchange hope, to remind every traveller that they don't have to walk through life alone, that somewhere there are people willing to welcome them exactly as they are. As night settles over the floating island, the final visitors begin their journey home. The lanterns continue glowing, the music grows softer, the bridges become quiet once more, yet the warmth remains, waiting patiently for tomorrow's travellers, for tomorrow's stories, for tomorrow's friendships, because markets close, but kindness never has to. Now, before you continue your own journey, remember to slow down every once in a while. Life isn't only about reaching the next destination. Sometimes the moments that matter the most are the ones that we almost rush past. As the evening grows quieter, the market slowly begins to settle. The conversations become softer, the laughter drifts gently into the night. Lanterns continue to glow, not to guide people home, but simply to remind them that the light is still there. Standing here, it's easy to believe that places like this exist because of the buildings, the bridges, the lanterns, the flowers, but perhaps that's only part of the story. A place only truly becomes special because of the people who fill it, the conversations shared, the kindness offered without expectations, the moments when someone feels welcomed, even if they've only just arrived. And maybe that's something that we're all searching for. Not perfection, not endless success, but somewhere that we can simply belong. A place where you don't have to pretend to be anyone else. Where we're accepted before we've even had the chance to explain ourselves. Belonging is a quiet kind of magic. It doesn't demand attention. It doesn't arrive with great celebration. Instead, it grows slowly. One conversation, one smile, one act of kindness at a time. Sometimes we tell ourselves that what we do isn't important, that we're only one person. Our words won't change anything. But imagine if every lantern in this market believed that its light was too small to matter. The pathways would become darker, the warmth would begin to fade. And yet, when every lantern shines, even gently, the whole village is transformed. People are much the same. No single person is expected to brighten the entire world, but each of us have the ability to brighten the space around us. And sometimes that's all that someone needs. One kind word, one reassuring conversation, one reminder that they are not alone. They are people we meet for only a few moments who leave an impression that lasts for years, not because they did something extraordinary, but because they made us feel seen. They listened, they cared, they chose kindness when it would have been easier for them to walk away. Those moments stay with us long after the conversation has ended, long after the journey continues, because people rarely remember every word that was said, but they often remember how someone made them feel. And perhaps that is the greatest treasure that this market has to offer. Not something that can be carried in your hands, but something carried quietly in your heart. A reminder that kindness has a way of travelling further than we ever expected. That encouragement can echo through someone's life long after we've forgotten that we gave it. So before you leave, take one last look around at the glowing lanterns, the peaceful bridges, the smiling faces, and remember, you don't have to create a magical floating village to make someone's day brighter. Sometimes all it takes is choosing to be patient, choosing to listen, choosing to care, because in the end, the most meaningful things we leave behind are rarely the things we build. They are the way that we make other people feel. And perhaps that's the greatest kind of magic that there is. As you leave the fairy market behind, perhaps you'll carry more than memories. Maybe you'll take a reminder that kindness is something we can all share, wherever we are. If you'd like to become a part of the community to see what we're building next, there's a Discord link in the pinned comment below. Remember, speaking up is strength. Take care of yourself and take care of those around you. Never underestimate how much a small act of kindness can brighten someone else's day. Until next time, keep creating, keep dreaming, and keep making the world a little more magical, one moment at a time.